They say the surface web is an ocean. If that's true, then the dark web is the terrifying bottomless abyss beneath it, where sunlight dies and every secret sinks. Welcome to Dark Depth Files. Tonight, we plunge past the filters, beyond the firewalls, into the unseen trenches of the internet. We are here to uncover digital artifacts that should not exist. Files, conversations, and truths so unsettling they have been sealed away in the deepest corners of the web. What you're about to hear are the stories of what happens when the hidden hand of the digital world reaches out and touches reality. We start with a file known only as Project Chimera. It began with a thread on a forgotten forum, a ghost town of a message board, unindexed, untraceable. The post was a single cryptic image, a pixelated sketch of a figure with disproportionately long limbs and a blank featureless head. Beneath it, a line of binary code. A small group of independent researchers, digital explorers who called themselves the cartographers, noticed the post. They weren't looking for anything nefarious, just mapping the forgotten history of the internet. But this thread was different. The binary code, once translated, simply read Chimera. The cartographers found that every user who had ever interacted with that thread, even just to view it, had their accounts immediately deleted. Their entire digital footprint wiped clean. This wasn't a bot. It was too precise. It was like a digital immune system, protecting a single viral cell. One cartographer, using the handle deepdive_K, managed to trace the image file. It wasn't hosted on a normal server. It was broadcasting from a constantly shifting peer-to-peer network, a network that didn't stay still long enough to be pinned down. It was a digital phantom. Deep Dive K spent 3 weeks chasing the signal. His breakthrough came when he realized the broadcast wasn't random. It was following a pattern, a repeating sequence that mirrored the orbital paths of certain low Earth satellites. It was using a legitimate global infrastructure to hide something illegitimate. He managed a 15-second connection. That's all he got. But in those 15 seconds, he downloaded a single, small file. It was an audio file. The sound was indescribable. Not human, not animal. A series of clicks and high-frequency tones, almost musical, but utterly alien. When he ran the audio through a spectrograph, the resulting image was a shock. It wasn't noise. It was a complex, repeating mathematical structure, a data packet. The mathematics in the audio file described a set of coordinates, not GPS coordinates for a location on Earth, but celestial coordinates. They pointed to a specific point in the vastness of the Oort cloud, the far-flung, icy edge of our solar system. This discovery pushed the mystery past the digital. Was it an elaborate hoax? Or had Deep Dive K stumbled upon something far more profound? His attempts to share the file were met with immediate resistance. Every platform he uploaded the audio to instantly flagged it and deleted it. His personal computer began to act strangely. Files would corrupt themselves. His screen would flicker with that original pixelated image. Then, things escalated. Deep Dive K was a security expert. He knew how to hide. But one morning, his apartment building's power went out. Not just his unit, the entire block. When the power finally flickered back on 5 hours later, Deep Dive K was gone. His computers were still on. The door was locked from the inside. The audio file was gone from his hard drive. Only a faint residual smell of ozone lingered in the air. The cartographers tried to find him. They posted pleas. They checked hospital records, police reports. Nothing. Deep Dive K had simply been erased, leaving no trace in the real world. But the Chimera file was not completely lost. Before he vanished, Deep Dive K had hidden a compressed, encrypted copy within a long-forgotten Game of Thrones fan fiction thread on a public forum. A true digital needle in a haystack. The cartographers found it, and they opened it. The file contained not only the audio and the celestial coordinates, but also a series of highly technical, complex schematics. Blueprints. These schematics were for an antenna, a massive, impossibly advanced, non-terrestrial signal array. The power required to run it would be immense. The diagrams looked like something out of a theoretical physics journal, but with one critical difference. They were annotated. The annotations were handwritten, faded, almost erased but visible. And the text was in a language no one recognized. Using advanced linguistic analysis, they determined the language was a mix of Proto-Sumerian and a modern high-level programming syntax. It was a language that should not exist. It was a technical language for a civilization we have never encountered. The last document in the file was a short scanned journal entry. It read, "It's not transmitting, it's receiving." And we are not the only ones who can hear it. The antenna is aimed at the point the audio describes. The Chimera. I believe the message is a warning. And now they know I have it. The handwriting matched a former, highly decorated astrophysicist who had vanished from a secure research facility in Siberia 3 years prior. His disappearance had been ruled a self-inflicted fatality and quickly forgotten. Now, his final words had surfaced on the dark web. The implication is terrifying. The dark web, the deepest layer of our own creation, may not just be a repository of human depravity and secrets. It might be the only place where information too dangerous to exist on the surface can survive. Information that extends far beyond the reach of Earth. The cartographers still monitor the original Chimera thread. The pixelated image still broadcasts intermittently from its shifting, untraceable network. But sometimes, the image changes. It is brief. A single, almost imperceptible frame flash. When they isolate and slow down this flash, they don't see the original featureless sketch. They see a face. It is Deep Dive K. His eyes are wide, terrified, staring directly into the lens. And across his throat, a single handwritten word appears and vanishes. Listen. The signal is still live. The message is still out there. And we still don't know who is listening or what they are preparing to answer. The dark web is not just a hidden space. It is a digital grave for those who find the files that were meant to stay buried. If you want to uncover more stories like this one, subscribe to Dark Depth Files, where we reveal what was never meant to be found.